Okay, so Systemio just dropped a brand new feature, and honestly, it's been causing a ton of buzz. We're talking about sub-accounts, and you've probably seen it. There's been a lot of excitement, maybe a little bit of confusion, and this big question mark hanging over what this actually means for you and your business. Well, that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to clear all that up and figure out who this feature is really for. On the surface, this looks like a massive deal, right? Especially if you're an agency managing a bunch of different clients. The idea of unlimited sub-accounts immediately makes you think of platforms like Go High Level. But here's the thing. Is it actually the same? Is it really a game changer for agencies? That's the exact question we're going to get to the bottom of. So let's start at the beginning with the announcement itself. The initial promise was frankly incredibly exciting. It suggested this huge expansion of what you could do with just a single System.io plan. And this is the core message that came directly from System.io's founder, Aurelian. It set some really big expectations. The idea was simple. Whatever limits your main account has, boom, each new sub-account gets those exact same limits all over again. And this is where the power of that really starts to click. Think about it. If you're on the free plan, which has a 2,000 contact limit, you can create a sub-account that also gets its own 2,000 contact limit, and then you can create another one and another one. And if you're on the top-tier unlimited plan, well, you can create unlimited sub-accounts, and each of those has unlimited limits. Yeah, it's a bit of a tongue twister, I know, but the potential just seemed, well, limitless. All right, so this brings us to the most important question, the thing everyone wanted to know. Can agencies actually create these sub-accounts, hand them over to clients, and then manage them effectively? That's what we had to put to a real-world test. The process itself seems pretty straightforward, right? First, you create a new sub-account. Simple enough. Then, you invite your client as a new member to that workspace, and you give them the highest level of access you can, the admin role. But the final step, actually logging in as that new admin to see what they see, well, this is where things got really interesting. Because what that test uncovered was a surprising and, honestly, critical limitation. It's one that completely changes the narrative for any agency hoping to use this feature for their clients. All right, just look at this comparison right here. On the left, you've got the main account owner's view. All the bells and whistles, full access to everything. But now look over on the right. That's what the new admin you just invited actually sees inside the sub-account. That settings menu, it's tiny in comparison. And here's the kicker, the most important part. Key features like setting up payment gateways, they're just gone. They're not there. So that invited admin does not get the full toolset, not even close. And this right here is the bottom line. If your client can't even connect their own Stripe or PayPal, or access all the features they need to actually run their business, then you can't really sell or manage that account for them. So in its current form, this setup kind of defeats the whole purpose that agencies were so excited about. Okay, so if it's not really for agencies selling client accounts, at least not yet, then who is this feature for? Let's get really clear on who can get a massive amount of value from these sub-accounts right now, today.
So who is this a total game changer for? Well, number one, if you run multiple brands, this is huge. You can now have a completely separate walled-off workspace for each one. We're talking separate contacts, separate funnels, zero overlap, but you manage it all from one main login. Amazing. Same thing for affiliate marketers who are juggling different niches, or really any entrepreneur who needs to keep different projects totally separate without having to pay for a whole new account. For these folks, this feature is absolutely perfect.
And on the flip side, who should probably just wait and see? Well, for now, if you're an agency and your dream was to resell full-featured Systeme.io accounts to your clients, this isn't the solution yet. And if you need to give a client or even a team member complete top-to-bottom admin access to a sub-account, it's just not quite there. So what's the final verdict? It's pretty clear. Right now, sub-accounts are a powerful, fantastic tool for internal organization, but they're not for external client management. And that leads to the big question, right? Is this going to change? Knowing how System.io operates, I'm willing to bet this is just version 1. As agencies and users like us provide feedback, this feature could absolutely evolve into that Go High-Level competitor so many were hoping for. So the takeaway is this. For multi-brand owners and solopreneurs, it's a perfect solution today. But for agencies, it's a powerful feature you'll want to keep a very, very close eye on.